Good morning.
Thank you, ma'am.
So we were discussing about the S parameter relation over ABCD parameters. So we have derived already these 4 equations of ABCD. I don't know whether you have solved it. Yesterday I've given you to solve S21 and S22. So you should be getting these 2 equations. Next thing is we have 3 properties to apply to this equation based on the symmetry and reciprocity. So the first condition is for these parameters or for these networks, if you are considering the network is reciprocal, the first condition we will take if the network what we have considered is reciprocal. So if it is reciprocal, you know the condition S21 should be equal to S12 or S12 should be equal to S21. So which means that now you can check the equations of S12 and S21. If you see the equations, you have 2 into AD A bar D bar minus B bar C bar, and one more is divided by A bar plus B bar plus C bar plus D bar. Similarly, if you see S21, it is 2 divided by A bar plus B bar plus C bar plus D bar. So if we have to make this equal, that is S12 should be equal to S21, we have to make A bar D bar minus B bar C bar should be equal to 1. Then only you can say that your system or the network what you have considered is reciprocal. So the first condition to this equation is if you are considering the system or the network is reciprocal, S12 should be equal to S21. If you observe the equation, the extra term you have is AD bar minus B bar C bar. So you'll just make it equal to 1. So that the equations, both S12 and S21 will be equal, which will be giving you the equation S12 is equal to 2 divided by A bar plus B bar plus C bar plus D bar, which is also equal to S21. The second condition now, if you are considering the network is symmetrical. If you consider the system as symmetrical or the network is symmetrical, which means that S11 should be equal to S22. Symmetricity means your terms which are same. So S11 should be equal to S22, which means that your inputs of the terms, that is your A bar, should be equal to your D bar. So which comes in the symmetric terms, because if you see S11, S12, S21, S22, you have the terms here A, B, C, D. So these 2 terms should be symmetric. If you consider the ABCD parameters, A, B, and C, D. So this should be S11, this will be S22. So the parameters here, which means that if your symmetric property is coming into effect, this both A bar, D bar should be equal. So you're making A bar is equal to D bar. So if you make A bar is equal to D bar in this equation, that is S11, A bar, instead of A bar, you substitute, instead of D bar, you substitute A bar. This is plus and this is minus. So the equation will reduce to S11 is equal to B bar minus C bar divided by A bar plus B bar plus C bar plus D bar, which is also equal to, if you consider your S22, A bar, instead of D bar, you will be substituting A bar. This is plus and minus. This will also get cancelled and you will have the equation which is also equal to S22. So 2 properties. One is the reciprocal property when you apply for the above network. You have S12 is equal to S21. Similarly, when you apply symmetrical, S11 is equal to S22. So which is equal to A bar is equal to D bar. Substitute to above equation, both the equations should be equal. Is that okay? I'll clear the screen. The third one, or the third property for this is, since you are considering the symmetrical and reciprocal property for a common transmission line here, we consider the Z01 and Z02, that is the characteristic impedance of the first port and the second port is equal to Z0. When you substitute characteristic impedance which is equal to Z0, you know we have made the normalization. What is A bar normalization we have made? What we have written for A bar? You have somewhere reduced the equation, writing it as A bar, B bar, C bar. What was it for A bar? Fast. What did we write for A bar?
A into square root of Z02 by Z01.
Yeah, A into square root of Z02 divided by Z01. Similarly, we have written for B bar, which is equal to B divided by square root of Z01 into Z02. Similarly, for C bar, we have written it as square root of Z01 into Z02C. For D bar, it is square root of Z01 by Z02 into D. So we have those normalization equations. Now to this equations, what we are doing, we are considering it as Z0. So if we consider it as Z0, your whole equation will change to, the whole equations will change to, so this is Z0. 1 is also considered Z0. Z02 is also considered Z0. So this will be equal to 1. So where your A bar will be equal to A. Now for B bar, if we take, it is B divided by square root of Z0, square root of Z0, which is nothing but square root of Z0 square. So your square and square root will get cancelled. You will be getting for B bar as B by Z0. That is for B. Similarly, if we take for C bar, it is again square root of Z0 square into C, where it is C into Z0, because your square and square root get cancelled. Similarly, D bar is nothing but D, because both gets cancelled by the division. Now what you have to do is substitute it and find out the final equations of S11, S12, S21 and S22. So S1 will just change to the equations for the property what you have applied. So if you apply the property and if you write, it is nothing but A plus B by Z0 minus C by Z0 plus D divided by A plus B by
C
Z0
into Z0, ma'am.
C into Z0, yes. C into Z0 divided by D minus
D, ma'am. Numerator.
So we will write for the property equation, that is S11 we have got according to property after applying, it is B bar C divided by, I think I've made a mistake in the previous, it should be 2A bar, no, when you substitute, just check. Because we have in the denominator it as A bar plus B bar plus C bar plus D bar, right? So when you apply the condition of symmetry, that is A bar is equal to D bar, this will become A bar again. Yes, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So just change the equations. I have written in the denominator as A bar plus B bar plus C bar plus D bar. Just make it as 2A bar plus B bar plus C bar. So your equations will change to, instead of B bar, you will be writing it as B by Z naught minus C into Z naught, divide equation by 2 into A plus B by Z naught plus C by Z naught, which is also equal to S22. Similarly, S12 will change to, we know the equation, it is 2 times of A bar plus B bar plus C bar plus D bar. So the equations will be here 2 divided by A plus B by Z naught plus C Z naught plus D. So this is also equal to S21. So these are the three properties which we will be applying for the relation of S over ABCD. Any confusions? No. I'll clear the screen. Now, copy down a problem which is related to S parameter. Write down the question. Two transmission lines of characteristic impedance Z1 and Z2, Z1 and Z2 are joined at a plane P dash, express S parameter in terms of impedances. Express S parameter in terms of impedances. Repeat the question. Two transmission lines of characteristic impedance Z1 and Z2 are joined at a plane P dash. Express S parameters in terms of impedances. It's very important with respect to exam point of view. Now the question is, you have two transmission lines. So if we consider the two transmissions like how we consider for normal derivations, say this is a two transmission line. You have Z1 and Z2, that is the impedance for port 1 and impedance for port 2. And you have a plane which is given as P and P dash. Now this is A1 is the incident one, B1 is the reflected one. Similarly, A2 is the incident one, B2 is the reflected one. Now this is nothing but the meeting point of two transmission line, which is nothing but the reference plane, and it is considered as a two-port network. Now the first condition what we do is, the incident and scattering wave amplitude what we take, we know it is represented by matrix B is equal to matrix S into matrix A. That's the general equation. Now you have to assume that the output line, because we can only consider one equation at a time. So first we will consider that the output line to be matched, which means the port 2 is considered to be the output. If it is matched, your A2 is 0, which means that the output line is matched. So A2 will be 0. And the input impedance, that is Z in, at the junction, that is nothing but for Z2 we are considering, which is also equal to load line or load of line Z1. Or if I tell you in a very simple way, suppose at line 1 if you take, line 1 is nothing but, if I draw the figure, it is something like this. Now this is the input, this is your match termination. So this will be Z2 and this will be your Z1 for some characteristic impedance Z0. For this, if you write the reflection coefficient gamma 1, which is also nothing but S11, you know the general equation of gamma, that is reflection coefficient ZL minus Z0 divided by ZL plus Z0. Just relate it to your impedances. Here your load becomes Z2, whereas the impedance, characteristic impedance will be Z1. So Z2 minus Z1 divided by Z2 plus Z1. You're considering only two impedances, considering this as input, this as load for first condition at line 1, saying A2 is terminated. So you will have ZL minus Z0 in terms of Z2 minus Z1 divided by Z2 plus Z1, which is nothing but S11. Now similarly, if I draw for at line 2, line 2 is just opposite. You are giving input to here, match terminating this side. So your figure will just be opposite. You will have the input as Z2, which will act as your characteristic impedance Z0. This will be Z1. So your gamma 2 is nothing but S22, which is again ZL minus Z0 by ZL plus Z0, where your ZL will be acting as your Z1 minus your Z2, Z1 plus Z2. Or you can also write it as S22 is equal to minus of Z2 minus Z1 divided by Z1 plus Z2, which is also equal to minus of S11. This equation is similar to this. So you need to understand, you're taking the question, you have to take the question it is given, you have two transmission lines, impedances is given characteristic impedance Z1 and Z2, and you need to find out S parameters in terms of Z parameters. So the first thing what you'll be doing is considering, assuming first A2 is matched, then A1 is matched. So if your A2 is matched, then your Z1 will be input, Z2 will act as your characteristic impedance. So you can write it as Z2 minus Z1 by Z2 plus Z1. Similarly, if you take that line 2, your Z1 will act as characteristic impedance, Z2 will be the input impedance. So it is Z1 minus Z2 by Z1 plus Z2. So if I just take the negative sign outside, the relation will be S22 is equal to minus of S11. Is that clear? This procedure? Okay. I'll clear the screen. The next step is you have to find out the S parameter now. To find out the S parameter, first you have to write down the general equation. That is, you know, B1 is equal to S11A1 plus S12A2. Similarly, B2 is equal to S21A1 plus S22A2. These two equations. Now, considering all the conditions which we have taken. First is with output matched, that is A2 is equal to 0. For a lossless line, we know Z2 will act as a characteristic impedance. What will be the equation for B2? Can anybody tell me? When you consider this in this figure, that is your two-port network which we have taken, with respect to A1 and with respect to B1, this is again A2, this is with respect to B2. You have Z1 here, you have Z2 here. Now, if your A2 is 0, what will be the output of B2 coming out when your A2 is 0? Only input is given, A1 as well as your B1. B2 is the transmitted. So since your A2 is 0, you can write your B1 as, because only the waves which you get is A1 and B1. That is towards the left hand side, the way which you have considered. That is, it is Z2, this is Z1, you have B1, B2 going outside, you have A1 as well as B1. So the total value what you get for B2 is A1 plus B1. Substitute for this as A1 plus, you can write B1 as S11 in terms of S11, it is B1 by A1. So I can write B1 as A1 into S11. So it is A1 into S11. If you take it outside, it is A1 into 1 plus S11. Or bring this to the denominator, B2 by A1 is equal to 1 plus S11. Or this you can write as S21 is equal to 1 plus S11. But you know S11 value in terms of impedance, it is Z2 minus Z1 divided by Z2 plus Z1, which we further simplify it as Z1 plus Z2 plus Z2 minus Z1 divided by Z1 plus Z2. So Z1 and Z1 will get cancelled. You will have S21 is equal to 2 times of Z2 divided by Z1 plus Z2. So you got one value for S21. Any confusions here? Write the equation for B2 based on this A1 plus B1. So A1 plus, you can write for B1 as A1 S11. Similarly, or if you still have confusion, I can give you one more solution to this equation. You can say A2 goes to 0. Here also A2 goes to 0. So you will be left out with B2, which is equal to S21 A1. Again, your B1 is equal to S11 A1. So B1 can be represented as S11 A1. So you have to find out the value of S21. So just replace it with A1 plus A1 S11. So you will have 1 plus S11. Take it outside as A1 you can take outside. Bring this to A1 here. 1 plus S21. S21 will be 1 plus S11. Value you have already written as Z2 minus Z1 by Z2 plus Z1. Simplify this, you will get S21. Now, similarly, you need to find out for the next case, that is considering just the opposite condition. You have to consider A1 as 0, matched output. So you have to consider this one. So you will have here, that is Z1. Characteristic impedance, you know it is Z2. So you will have inputs related to A2, output that is coming out as B1. So I can write this equation, that is B1 as A2 plus B2. Instead of B2, I should write it as S22, which is B2 by A2, where B2 is equal to A2 into S22. So instead of B2, I'll write it as A2 into S22. Take out A2 outside. So you will have 1 plus S22 B1 by A2, which is equal to 1 plus S22. This can be written as S12, 1 plus, you know S22 value is Z1 minus Z2 divided by Z1 plus Z2. So simplify it, Z1 plus Z2 plus Z1 minus Z2 divided by Z1 plus Z2. Z2 and Z2 will cancel. You will have S12 is equal to 2 times of Z1 divided by Z1 plus Z2. So you got the equation for S12. Just the opposite of your first thing what you have solved. In terms of B1 you are doing. Now clear the screen. So you got 4 parameters here. So the 4 parameters, that is S parameters, what you got in terms of Z. The first parameter, that is Z11, is Z2 minus Z1 divided by Z1 plus Z2. The second parameter, what you got is 2Z1 divided by Z1 plus Z2. The third parameter which you got was 2Z2 divided by Z1 plus Z2. And the final parameter was Z1 minus Z2 by Z1 plus Z2. So this is the problem to solve. You have to write or find out the equation in terms of Z parameters. Now, write out one more question to solve. Did you solve the question which was given on day before yesterday's class to find out the power? There was one question given of H plane T. You have solved?
Yes, ma'am.
What is the answer you have got? Just tell me so that I'll just clarify with everybody. What is P1?
37.5 millivolt.
37.5 milliwatt. What is P2?
12.5 milliwatt.
12.5 milliwatt. Similarly, P3?
25 milliwatt.
Yeah, correct. 25 milliwatt. When you add this to P1 is equal to P2 plus P3, it will satisfy the equations. Others, did you get the same answer?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Copy down the next question. Consider a lossless junction. Consider a lossless junction, that is H-plane T. Consider a lossless H-plane T junction with 40 milliwatt, power being fed into perfectly matched port 3 of the junction, at 50 ohm, the two collinear ports, P1 and P2, are terminated in mismatched load, 45 ohm and 55 ohm. Calculate the actual power delivered to these loads. Calculate the actual power delivered to these loads and the corresponding reflected powers. Repeat the question. Consider a lossless H-plane T junction with 40 milliwatt power being fed into a perfectly matched port 3 of the junction at 50 ohm. The two collinear ports 1 and 2 are terminated in mismatched loads of 45 ohm and 55 ohm. Calculate the actual powers delivered to these loads and the corresponding reflected powers. You need to find out, that is, the power delivered. There are two loads given for port 1 and port 2, 45 and 55. You have to find out what is the power delivered for those two ports. That is the question. Now, since this is H-plane T, you have to write the S parameter of H-plane T. You have derived the S parameter of H-plane T, that is 1 by 2, minus 1 by 2, 1 by root 2. Similarly, minus 1 by 2, 1 by 2, 1 by root 2, 0, 1 by root 2, and 1 by root 2. So this is the S parameter of the junction. First, write down this equation. And now you know the relation of the S parameter with respect to your input and reflected. That is SH, that is nothing but S parameter of H plane, S into A. So you have to now find out what is actually the power going into input and input ports, that is P1 and P2. To find out that, you have to write the equations in terms of B1, B2 and B3. So if I just write in terms of matrix, so you will have the equations 1 by 2, minus 1 by 2, 1 by root 2, minus 1 by 2, 1 by 2, 1 by root 2, 1 by root 2, 1 by root 2, 0. And you have the inputs. See the input, the power is being fed into port 3. So other two ports are match terminated. So you'll have A1 0, A2 0, A3 will be the one which is remaining. Because you know H-plane T, we are giving it to port 3. Other two ports will be match terminated. So then the equations of B1 will be just A3 by root 2. And one more equations of B2 is nothing but A3 by root 2. So if you just, this is 0, this is 0, you will have only the equations with respect to this row, A3 by root 2, A3 by root 2 for B1 and B2. Now the input power being fed, what is the input power? For port 3 we are giving in the question. This 40 milliwatt is what? The power which is being fed into your port 3. Yeah, port 3. So this has to divide equally among your port 1 as well as your port 2. So power going into port 1 and port 2 is nothing but B1 into B1 complex conjugate. That is nothing but for one particular port if you consider. The same will apply for your port 2. So I'll consider the first port, that is B1 and B1 complex conjugate. So if you write the equation for this you write it based on the power going into port 1 and port 2. So 1 power with respect to your port 1. So this will be A3 by, or simple method to solve this is, I will not go for the complicated one. We know the power will be equally divided among your port 1 and port 2. So you can take the port 1 and port 2 power, which is equally divided across the term, is nothing but divided by 2, which is nothing but your 20 milliwatt. So 20 milliwatt, we are considering the power going into port 1 and port 2. Now the power reflected back by the port, we need to find out. To find out that, we have to calculate what is actually the reflection coefficient of port 1 as well as port 2. Till here it is fine. Write the S parameter, write the equations, find out what is the power going into the port 1 and port 2, divide it by 2, you will get it as 20 milliwatt. Okay. Let's clear the screen. Now the next step is you have to find out what is the reflected power at port 1. To find out the reflected power at port 1, you know the formula, that is the normal half into the input power. What we take is nothing but A3 square. This is the general equation of power. But when you consider the reflected power, you need to consider the reflection coefficient square. So it is half into the input power, that is A3 square, and your reflected power, reflection coefficient, that is gamma 1 square. Now when you write, you have to find out gamma 1. What is the formula? How do you find out reflection coefficient here? Since you are finding out for port 1, 45 ohm is given, 50 ohm is given, 55 ohm for port 2 is given. So how do you write the gamma 1? Which is your ZL? Port 3, 50 is given. This will act as your characteristic impedance. This will be the load impedance for port 1. This is the load impedance for port 2. So since we are considering port 1, the formula ZL minus Z0 by ZL plus Z0, this will be 45 minus 50 divided by 45 plus 50. Tell me what is the answer?
Minus 0.0526.
Minus 0.0526. 526. See here you have magnitude. So when I consider your magnitude of this, it will be just 0.0526. Now just substitute for that. Reflected power at port 1 is equal to half into magnitude of A3. So input here will be 40 milli. This is 0.0526 square. So you have to take, when you take magnitude, take it 20 milli. You'll get 0.0554 milliwatt. Input power minus your reflected power, you'll get 19.446 milliwatt. Clear the screen. Now the second one, it is nothing but the power reflected due to port 2, that is mismatch load. So first you have to find out what is gamma 2. Gamma 2, again it is ZL minus Z0 by ZL plus Z0. Here your load will be 55 minus 50 divided by 55 plus 50. What is the answer?
0.0476, ma'am.
0.0476. Okay. Now find out what is reflected power at port 2. So it is half into magnitude of A3 square gamma 2 square So it is half into A3 is nothing but 40 milli and gamma 2 is 0.0476 square. So this is
0.0453, ma'am.
0.0454 milliwatt. So this is 20 milli into 0.0476 square. So power delivered to 55 ohm at port 2 is equal to 20 milliwatt minus 0.0454 milliwatt. What is the answer?
19.954.
19.9546 milliwatt. See, because of the ohm difference, that is, you are giving 45 ohm to port 1, 55 ohm to port 2, there is a slight difference. The one which you have got for port 2 is 19.954, but which you got for port 1 was 19.9446 milliwatt. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Write down one question, the same type, you can solve it and come. In H-plane T junction, compute power delivered to the loads, 40 ohm and 60 ohm, connected to arms 1 and 2, when 10 milliwatt power is delivered to matched port 3, In H-plane T junction, compute power delivered to loads 40 ohm and 60 ohm connected to arms 1 and 2 when 10 milliwatt power is delivered to matched port 3. See here, you are not given the Z0, that is characteristic impedance. So if they don't give, even in the exams, you take it as Z0 is equal to 50 ohm. For all the cases, right there, assume characteristic impedance of 50 ohm, and then do solve the question. Similarly, so previously, like same question, find out what is power delivered at port 1, power delivered at port 2. So we'll end the class. We'll meet on Monday.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.